Finding the calm within the storm. I never would have thought that it was possible for, first of all, a storm to be so severe that you absolutely lose control. You ever see those videos or the movies where a tornado is so strong it like picks things up? You know, that's what a storm can truly really feel like. You lose all sense of left and right, up and down, and you absolutely just get swooped up into the air. I have found myself in storms throughout my life, and I've realized that if you're not in a storm, one is coming. I heard that from a previous client. It's a really good saying. How do you find the calm within the storm? Why is it even important to think or even know that that is possible? Well, it's important for there to be a group of leaders that can rise up and hold a standard. And everyone will face a storm. Everyone is going to face a storm if they're not currently in one. And anyone that is currently in a storm can choose to rise above the storm. I know that in moments where I found my life to be in absolute chaos, there is this choice that is obvious, this choice of taking the easier road, this choice of giving up my values. It can be a very confusing time, but you definitely have free will in those moments. And being a leader through those moments, holding on to what you truly care for, is important. Storms can also be a good time to shed as well. Giving gratitude for the towers, the timelines, the potential realities that collapse during a storm can be very grounding as well. I've had many expectations throughout my life, and the world and my reality has different plans for me, time and time again. And I give gratitude for the timelines that collapse. And that can be one way to find calm within the storm. I have found myself being a bit of a mentor, a bit of perspective to put it very like straightforward in people's lives. And I realized that a lot of what I lean on to help myself and others guide their ways out of darkness is perspective. So whenever I'm facing a tough time, finding gratitude, reminding myself of what I'm sacrificing for is very, very grounding. Reminding others of the reasons for which they suffer is very, very grounding for them. And it's important because, again, those moments can be character building, but also devastating. One thing I've learned through studying masculinity is that weak men are the ones that go out and destroy and do unfair things onto others because they don't have the strength, they don't have the restraint to deal with their demons in a healthy way. And I'm sure the same can be said for women. I only speak based off of my research. And what I've come to realize is that anytime I've seen a man lack leadership, a man lack reliability, it is because they do not step into their strength. So knowing that a storm is coming, you can prepare. Knowing that you will inevitably inherit leadership, responsibilities, trust from others can be something that you use to motivate you to prepare. Facing self-disciplines, setting forth on rites of passage can be very, very productive. It blows my mind that the words rite of passage is something that I've only discovered recently. And to explain it to those that don't know what a rite of passage is exactly what it sounds like. A rite of passage. You earn your right to continue forward. I've seen in some tribes that men go through things like this. Again, I'm sure women go through things like this as well. Life has a way of making us go through rites of passage, but self-imposing a rite of passage is very healthy. It's very responsible. I've done it in many different ways, and I tried to discover new ones because, again, I am preparing for a storm. And even though no matter what we all can do, the storm is inevitable, finding calm, finding stability through a storm is the best that we can do. I recently had a very big storm in my life, and I was faced with many, many choices on a day-to-day basis that I resisted, but were inevitable. And through day and day, night and night, I asked myself, what do I demand from this transition? What do I want to continue with? And what do I want to leave behind? I did everything that I could to ground myself. I did everything that I could to let go of things that weren't serving me. And I did everything that I could to grow the courage within me to hold on to the things that I care about. I essentially was faced with the choice of staying in New York City, my home of, 20 years. And I decided to leave it behind. I decided that what I truly had yearned for in that moment was peace. And what we can learn from, my story and what I want to pass on to all of you is that even in a storm, we can have free will. We can have choice. And even though none of us are perfect, I think it is extremely important that we strive for our best. So if there's anything that you learn from this video is I hope you learn perspective. I hope you can look out into others and see that a lot of us do not truly share what we're really going through. One thing that I've learned is, I wish you the best. This is saying, like, I wish you the best on the pain that you don't share. We all have these certain difficulties that we don't share. So having that perspective and having this outward understanding and empathy for others can be very, very healthy. And also understanding that we are not going through it alone. Understanding that suffering is something that's inevitable. It's something that we all will face. And facing it with confidence, facing it with understanding, showing up for others and giving them love whenever we can to support them through their battles. I think it's responsible. I think that it's healthy. And I think, if anything, it's abundance. It's taking what you need and giving a little more. Making sure that whatever you get from life, you always leave a little bit extra behind. You treat others and you treat the world the way that you want to be treated. And I think through that, not only can we navigate our own storms better, but we can navigate the storms that we face as a community better. I think that it's also very important to lead with vulnerability and to prepare relationships, whether it be friends, partners, business partners, family. Prepare those relationships for times of need. Establish communicational boundaries, establish contingencies, establish a sense of trust that you know you can rely on. And again, know that tough times are inevitable. And speaking about those tough times are not easy, but persevering through these storms, holding on to the things that we truly care about, and giving life to a better future is so worth it. I spoke about the concept of suffering for a purpose yesterday. And so today's conversation is really how to survive those moments that almost feel like they have the ability to knock out our castle. I always like to visualize like a sandcastle being built at the edge of right at the shore. And so we want to try and build our sandcastles as strongly and as capable as possible, because that wave is coming. And when that wave comes, we need to do whatever we can to find that calm, to find that perspective, to find that inner power, not just for us and not just for what we're experiencing, but for the people we care about and for the things that we care about. Finding a calm in a storm can look in so many different ways and be revealed to us in so many different ways, especially, in ways that we do not expect. Like, I've had, storms surprise me left and right, and it comes in all shapes and colors. But knowing that it's something that's building us, knowing that it's something that we can overcome, knowing that, sometimes too, surrendering to the storm can be something that shows us our own strength. And looking at it from this perspective of growth and perseverance is, again, very healthy for you and very healthy for all those around you. So I say that to you all here in front of my little table, my little altar. This is something that I do to find strength every single day when I wake up. Also to find strength and invest into it at night. It has all of my favorite items that remind me of who I am. And it's a very, very beautiful place for me. It's my little tiny table of perspective, my little tiny table of strength. And I recommend to all of you that if you feel like you could use a little extra support, a little bit of extra tangible strength in your reality, do whatever you can. Maybe build an altar. First thing I ever did was grab a journal and start to write down my thoughts and expand on my ideas. These are all things that can help us take it one day at a time so that we can overcome and survive our biggest battles. So again, just to kind of recap, like, not only is finding calm within the storm possible, but we can find gratitude for the storm. And we should persevere through a storm, not only for ourselves, not only for the things that we care about, but for the people around us, because sometimes storms involve multiple people, and you want to invest in others, invest in your reality for those moments of need through communicational boundaries, through trust standards that you set, just so that when those things inevitably come, you're prepared. Finding strength in spaces like this, finding strength in pendants and jewelry and clothing and a routine, that kind of stuff can really save you and really save the things that you work so hard to protect. I invite you to, support this channel where I try and really just share my ideas on how I make, surviving reality and persevering through reality, expanding on the things that we love and manifesting. I make it all practical and I make it honest. This is the stuff that I do to help me reverse engineer my greatest reality. And so if you feel like this is something that could help you, please subscribe. If you want to support the channel, please like the video, leave a comment if you have any questions, and feel free to get involved in the community and ask any kind of questions, or leave a comment for someone else that might need something down the line. I am on a journey of not only being of service on this channel, but also expanding an agency, expanding a marketing company. Currently is what we're calling it, a marketing company, where we engineer and reverse engineer sovereignty for professionals and help them inspire themselves and people around them as well. I try to take my purpose and pass it around through everything that I do, and that's why I study this, and this is why I want to share this stuff. So again, if you want to support the channel, please go for it. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video, and if you would like to see more of a specific topic, please leave a comment and I'll make sure to make a video on that. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.